right, and so for Leo. So for Leo, your 10th house is Taurus and your 4th house is Scorpio. So, your 10th house, Leo, is connected to your 2nd house. So, with emphasis on your 10th house being in Taurus and your 2nd house is Virgo. Your family could be, well, the issue at hand, I'm not gonna say issue, but, with the 10th house Taurus, Leo, of course, a lot of your focus, Leo, for your family is money, stability. Second house things could have came up for you, such as things that make you wealthy or things that you spend your money on or for is your 2nd house. So with that 10th house Taurus, Leo, of course we know that you're flashy and look, like luxury and things of that nature. The South Node is in your 4th house, Leo. So with the South Node in your 4th house, there's some karma here within your home or related to your family. The True Node conjunct Uranus in your 10th house is in a square to your 7th house. So changes in your family or changes with money when it comes to your family is in some kind of challenge or restriction when it comes to your marriage. Okay, because your 10th house is in a square to Saturn, which is in your 7th house. So Leo, with this Capricorn solar energy, the sun is actually in your 6th house, Leo, right? Because Capricorn is your 6th house. Yeah, you have the sun, Mercury, and Venus in your 6th house, which is a house of hard work. And there's a square here with Jupiter and Aries in the 9th house. So with that square, the 6th house in your 9th house, there could be some issues here with work, maybe trying to get some kind of loan, or there could be some credit issues that come up, or some banking. Or you could have had like some banking issues to come up with that Jupiter in the 9th house square to your 6th house. With Jupiter and Aries in your 9th house, Leo, you could be getting like some kind of loan, business loan. You could be starting a new business. You could also be like a spiritual boss. Some could be an instructor or an educator. Some Leos could be going back to school with Jupiter and Aries in the 9th house. Definitely some kind of new beginning here with spirituality, philosophy, religion. There could also be like a travel opportunity that come up for you, Leo. You could also be partnering with like foreign corporations, being granted business opportunities, planning to travel, or doing college applications to another country or state. With a true node conjunct Uranus in the 10th house connected to your 2nd house, There could be some changes regarding your funding source, or there have been. Your work could involve travel, or there could be some health issues that's involved with travel, or there could be some things with work that is preventing you or prohibiting you from traveling or going back to school, or excuse me. Okay. So yeah, there could be some issues with related to your health and traveling, or something with work that's restricting you from traveling or going back to school or furthering your education, or there could be something with your health or your work that is affecting you with a loan, or that's affecting your bank account in some kind of way. Okay. So with the South Node and Scorpio in the 4th house, you have Pisces in the 8th house. You could be going through some kind of rebirth of your family, or some kind of transformation or change with that Pisces 8th house, South Node and Scorpio in the 4th house. There could also be some secrets about your family with that 8th house connected to your 4th house, or some kind of trauma. You could also receive psychic downloads, dark magic, spiritual and occult knowledge can also be seen here as well, in the 4th house. Yeah, because you got Scorpio in the 4th house in connection to Pisces 8th house. So yeah, spiritual downloads, occult knowledge, like, yeah, something dealing with like magic, could be dark magic as well. So the 10th house has been in the square to your 7th house. So that's your career, your reputation, your family, okay, the image that you give off to the world, as well as your reputation, something with your career, something like that. It's been in the square to your 7th house. Where you have Saturn, Leo. So yeah, Saturn in your 7th house is connected to Gemini, your 11th house, which is related to your 3rd house, Libra. So definitely some kind of karma here with this 3rd house, Libra. 11th house, Gemini, 7th house, Saturn. A lot of marital issues, some kind of definitely regarding friends with that 7th house connected to that 11th house. There could also be issues with your friends related to your marriage or your spouse's friends. I also feel like with the South Node of Scorpio in the 4th house, there could be some investigating of your family, or people could be researching your family. Something from the past regarding your home could come up for you as well, Leo, with that South Node of Scorpio in the 4th house. Also, Leo, with the sun in your 6th house square to Jupiter and Aries in your 9th house, you could have business ventures across the country or even the world. Be mindful of like risky sexual encounters while traveling. But yeah, also, I definitely feel, Leo, that you have major business plans and wealth from foreign sources, or from like, yeah, other forms of sources like Bitcoin or something like that. Mercury and Venus in Capricorn in your sixth house has been in a square to Chiron and Aries in the 9th house. A lot of hard work here, a lot of traveling. I know you're really tired. You could be really tired, Leo, or really wanting to or wanting to relax. But I do see travel here and hard work. There also could be a desire to want to be your own boss, want to have fun, do your own thing, wanting something new, fresh, and exciting with this square from the 6th house to Aries in the 9th house. Just basically wanting a fresher energy, something more exciting. So, Virgo, your 10th house is Gemini. Okay, and your 10th house, Gemini, is related to your 3rd house, which is Scorpio. All right, and so your 4th house is Sag, which is connected to your 9th house, which is Taurus. So Virgo, with his 4th house Sag, 9th house Taurus, there could be some kind of higher truth that is illuminated to you. But we're going to come back to that 4th house energy in the Cancer full moon video with that 4th house Sag, Virgo. You could also have something like really spiritual going on at home as well. But the sun is in your 5th house, Virgo, in a square to Jupiter and Aries in your 8th house. So definitely some kind of conflict or something with your children here. With Jupiter and Aries in your 8th house, it could be like secret fights or something like that. With Jupiter and Aries in the 8th house, you could be like fighting with somebody else, a spouse, or like somebody else's spouse wants to fight with you or something like that. Because the 8th house is connected to marriage or someone outside of the marriage. But with Jupiter and Chiron and Aries in the 8th house, Virgo, this is connected to secrets. You know, Virgo, you are a boss. You can be the one more assertive. A very independent energy. So with Jupiter and Aries in the 8th house, Virgo, this is connected to your 1st house. Jupiter and Aries in the 8th house. It is connected to your 1st house. So Virgo, you could have been dealing with some aggression or some conflicts. Could be some issues with your children as well. I also feel like with Jupiter and Aries in the 8th house square to the 5th house, I feel this energy is like rough sex or sexual abuse. So like, be mindful of that. With the Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Capricorn, the 5th house, though, I also feel like you could be like sexually involved with someone older. you know, and, you know, yeah. But yeah, just be mindful of real six with this square to the fifth house and the eighth house. Especially with someone if they're older. Be mindful of like having an encounter with someone older and they like start wheezing, about to have a heart attack, okay, like things like that. This really aggressive energy behind the scenes, okay, very controlling energy as well. So yeah, and don't let nobody treat you like a hoe with Jupiter Aries in the eighth house and the square to the sun in the fifth house. But there could be something eliminated about your children to you, or something could have been eliminated by your children with the sun, Mercury, and Venus in the fifth house. So a lot of time with children, a pleasant time with pleasant energy for your children as well. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna move on. I stopped at Virgo. So here's Libra. So Libra, your 10th house is Cancer, 4th house Capricorn. So your 10th house is actually connected to your first house, your 4th house, and the moon. So Libra, you have a lot of lunar energy going on this month. I definitely feel with your 10th house being connected to your 4th house and the moon. You could have been spending a lot of time with your mother, with your family, your children. If you're experiencing a pregnancy that you may not have announced yet, congratulations. Or there could be something here with the pregnancy. With all this lunar energy, because you had a 10th house Cancer, and you and the full moon, well, the new moon actually was in your 4th house. So something going on in your home. All right. With your 10th house being connected to your 4th house and the moon. Yeah. I feel like something about your family or its family secrets are being exposed, Libra, with that 10th house Cancer. I mean, that's very much possible. Or like, yeah, something could definitely be exposed in 10th house, or like a family secret could be exposed. Yeah, that's what I said with the moon in the 4th house. The sun in your 4th house, Libra, is in a square to Jupiter in Aries in your 7th house. So there could be some issues in home and marriage, like home issues with living together, or you know, living together as a family, as a couple, as a unit, as a marriage. Yeah. Jupiter and Aries in the 7th house, there could also be like a new marriage, new relationship, but Jupiter and Aries in the 7th house could be a lot of different energies in the 7th house. Hopefully it's not like you know, fights and arguments and like abuse and things like that. But there is some conflict between the home and the marriage at this time. So yeah, with the sun, Mercury, and Venus in Capricorn in your 4th house, a lot of comfort and beauty in the home, family and responsibilities. With Jupiter and Aries in the 7th house, there could also be a desire to do something new, or something exciting could be coming up in your marriage. Of course, Jupiter and Aries in the 7th house could also mean that you have a partner that's kind of narcissistic, kind of selfish as well. But this could also be a new beginning for your marriage, Libra. So you may want to refresh and renew your marriage, or some Libras could be getting married or wanting to, or starting something new, such as a new relationship or a new marriage. The true node conjunct Uranus and Taurus, Libra, is in your 8th house. And the South Node in Scorpio is in your 2nd house. So the square node from the square from the 8th house is in a square to Saturn in the 5th house. So with the 8th house being in a square to the 5th house here, definitely secrets here. If there could be some secrets around children, or a truth around the children, or surrounding the children. So yeah. Also with the true node in Uranus in the 8th house, it could be like a codependent, like depend on your partner for like money, shelter, food, clothes, or something like that. So Libra, you have Saturn in the 5th house. So yeah, Saturn in the 5th house has been the square to Taurus in the 8th house. So there could be some issues with Saturn in Aquarius in the 5th house. Like, it could have been like Saturn in Aquarius in the 5th house. You could have been trying to have a baby for a long time, or Saturn in Aquarius in the 5th house. Or you could have been trying with a friend for a long time. So yeah, moving on. Sorry, y'all, I'm starting to get sleep now. Getting to my bedtime, and I'm 23 minutes in. So Libra, we have the South Node in Scorpio in your 2nd house, and the True Node in Taurus is in your 8th house. And of course, the South Node of Scorpio in the 2nd house is a way that you used to get your money in the past. Joint finances, valuables, your home. Definitely all of that could come through marriage. Codependency is also seen here. All right, so moving along to Scorpio. Scorpio's 10th house is Leo, 4th house Aquarius. So the sun actually rules the 10th house. So something is being illuminated here about your family, or your reputation, or your career. And you also have the sign of friends in the 4th house. The 5th house rules your 10th house. So definitely something here with your children and your family. Let's see. The Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Capricorn is in your 3rd house, which is in a square to Saturn in the 4th house. So with Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Capricorn in the 3rd house, definitely spending time with children, parenting. The Sun in the 3rd house is square to Jupiter and Aries in the 6th house. which could be like issues with like going to work, having a babysitter. Be mindful of traveling issues or communication issues with that square from the 3rd house to the 6th house. Jupiter and Aries in the 6th house in a square to that Capricorn 3rd house energy. Just be mindful of taking a risk, okay, or doing something foolish. Sorry, I'm reading. You could also have some conflict at work, Leo, lawsuits, legalities in a mix with your daily routine or your job. Okay. Be mindful of like arguing at work, arguing with your boss. So yeah, the true node conjunct Uranus in your 7th house, Scorpio, has been in a square to Saturn in your 4th house. All right, so yeah, your Saturn is coming from your 4th house, which is in a square to your 7th house. So that is your Capricorn lunar energy. Not lunar, solar energy, I'm sorry. I also feel with Mercury and Venus in Capricorn, the 3rd house, and a square to Chiron in the 6th house, there could be a need to be more inclusive or considerate or sensitive. Yeah. Be mindful of your health as well, or just like kind of check up on yourself and on your health. All right, so Sag, your 10th house is Virgo, 4th house is Pisces. Yeah, 10th house Virgo, 4th house Pisces. So your 10th house is connected to your 6th house, which is Taurus. And your 4th house is connected to your 12th house, which is Scorpio. Of course, we're only focusing on the 10th house energy because we're talking about the Capricorn Solar energy. And the 4th house is connected to the 12th house. The Sun, Mercury, and Venus has been in your 2nd house with a square to Jupiter and Aries in the 5th house. So your money, security, and values in the square to your joy, children, sex, or things related to your childhood. Basically, there's some kind of tension between the things you like to do for fun and for enjoyment and your money or other 2nd house things. Like, what am I going to wear? Or I have to buy these, or I got to make sure, So there's a tension between the 2nd house and the 5th house with Sag. Okay. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on that energy. And it looks like that is pretty much everything I have for the zodiac. I did start with Capricorn, and I ended all the way at Sag. So hopefully I'm gonna go back through and make sure that I didn't miss anything, that I got all 12 signs. And I will upload my video about the Cancer full moon, where I go through each sign discussing the 4th house and the house that the moon showed up in. So yeah, that'll be in my next video. And then I'm going to pretty much start reflecting on the Aquarius new moon energy, which is coming up. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already. I will continue to start back posting content. Just make sure that you get notified when I upload. And until then, I will see you all on the next video. Peace.